Okay. Sige po. Next is PTH. PTH set number 2. P. Parent teacher house. Then AQS set number 5. Oh, there's a lot of team. 2. Then yung yung YDD. Yeah, YDD set number 1. 1 and 5 daw si YDD. Basta 3 minutes yung team nila. Then Project Hash set number 2. Last is Galore Shifters. Okay, yan. So set number 1. So we have a full house today. So for the first group, DevOps, so you can prepare your presentation. Okay, so recap. First is DevOps, then Idea 92, then Ikaw Lang Sapat Na, then Phil Robotics, Bumpanes, DE, Ego, Cisco, Pink, Fans of Cat Paddy, Helios, Mumpanes, Titiglawin, PTH, AQS, YDD, Project Hash, then Galore Shifters. Okay? So again, DevOps. Sige. So, while the Q&A of the presenting group is happening, the next group should start preparing their presentation, their demo. Okay? So we would save time. Okay, again, 3 minutes to demo your app, then 2 minutes for Q&A and the judges exploring your application.
Baba mo na lang. Can I hear? Sorry. Can I hear? Because I need to...
Ay, you need to sit down?
I know, sir. Can I hear? Edit field 4, wait lang. Edit field 4. Wait,
Hi guys, while DevOps is preparing their presentation, can everyone settle down? And we'd like to welcome our panel of judges. So I'd like to introduce Ms. Pia Bernal of Kickstart. Thank you, Pia. Mr. Eli Apao of PWDO and ONX Sulit. and Mr. J. De Jesus of the U.S. Embassy Public Affairs team. Sorry po, may isang judge po ako na miss out. From World Food Program, si Sir
Juanito Berna.
Monito Berna. Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
Alright, so guys, let's get ready. Ready to rumble? Mac, okay.
Mac problem. Kailangan na adapter.
Meron mong adapter. Yan natin kung
Maraming salamat.
tingnan na natin.
Mag-work po yan.
Nandiyan na sila tatayo?
Depende sa kanila.
Okay. Live stream na to.
Thank you. Right now? Why?
Kunin ko na yung phone.
I-off mo muna.
Kunin ko na yung phone.
Ay, okay. Ay,
Kunin ko na yung phone.
ay, sorry po. Sige, try mo. Ay, ito ba?
Tama ba? Kaya ba?
Malaki po yan.
Ayun, ang dami na.
Ayan pala eh.
Ito. So, dalawa. Depende sa Mac version. Where's the cordless mic?
Ang ganito yun.
Of cord?
Yung iba wala HDMI.
Hello.
Wala pa HDMI.
Ginahirap ko na kayo next page. Hindi mo set up nito. Nadatnan ko na eh. Naganito ko.
Okay.
Galing naman sa mga ito. Ang galing naman sa mga salat ko. Oo, no? Magaling. Oo, yun, no? May times 2. Ito yung pagbabasin. Dito lang.
Tech support. Hi po. Projector problems. Tech support. Help.
Minsan kasi nangingilala yung mga machine eh.
How many developers does it take to open a projector? A very big projector.
Daw lang siya.
Okay.
Di pa natin.
Pay over mo. Pay
Ano kami, ganyan din ang wala kami internet sa charity hackathon eh. How many web designers does it take to fix the internet connection? Nice na internet.
So minsan pag high-tech yung nagkakagulo, parang high-tech problem din. Sa akin yung battery.
Yung dapat i-just works.
It's almost there.
Yan na.
Yung Google Doc.
Oo nga, hindi ako kami lalagyan ako ng notes. Baka may mga... Kaya tayo mag-intay magsabi. Discord na. Oo, ano yun.
At tama na score next.
Gusto niyo mag-usap tayo.
Parang ka na, hindi ko gusto yung shot niya. Sa damit yung ano. Medyo
Sa itsura pala, hindi doon sa presentation. Baka pag may maganda na, pag may nag-China na.
Okay na ba?
May additional notes ng personal na.
Are we all ready to start the demos of your applications, of your solutions? Yes? Okay. So now let's give a round of applause for DevOps.
Hello. So hello, good afternoon, hackers, judges, and so my team, I am the team. My team is named DevOps. So basically, my solution set number is number 4. So basically, the solution set is the LGU wants to help the LGU wants to track the natural resources. This includes watersheds, uh, forest and deforestation. So basically, I just created a very simple app that would help to attain the goal of the LGU. So unfortunately, in the simulator you cannot, there's no camera, so I just have to show it to the judges here. So basically, I just open the app. It's just a simple instruction how about the app and then how to run the app. So basically, just shake to view the event. I mean event. So,
I can demo it. Maybe.
yeah. After clicking, just automatically. Now, the main purpose of this app is to, for example, a scenario is, for example, you're hiking and then you see a tree. Because then you can take a picture of that tree. I mean, you can tag it. For example, this is a tree. I'm gonna take a picture of it. And then I'm gonna upload it. And then now, after I capture the tree, I can create a tag for it. For example, tree tag, and then I can add a name for it. For example, tree. And then the user has an option to create a geolocation for it. And then there's an option to recapture now. And then I'm gonna upload it. Yeah, put uploaded, yeah. So for the back end of the where it goes is that it is stored in parse. This is my back end. That's where it goes. So basically, the purpose of this app is to have the LGUs to monitor each tree or watersheds, and then the user or any student can take a picture of the watershed and then add data to it to help the LGU to do its task. So the future plan of the app is to have a web app that will gather the data from the database first, and then to compute to do graphs for it. So that's basically
Time's up.
Okay, thank you. So now I have two roles. I have to host and I have to be the camera woman. So we're live on Hangouts on Air.
Say hi, guys.
Okay. So now the judges, do you have any questions? So 2 minutes ulit for questions, and I suppose from the audience, questions for DevOps. Kasi isa lang pala siya.
There a possibility there to add descriptions or characteristics of that particular feature other than the name?
as you can see for my app, it's just a simple, very descriptive fields. When I talk to the LGUs, I mean, if ever I'll be given the chance to be selected of the LGU can tell me what are the fields that they need. For example, if they wanted to number of the trees or something, for example, the level of the watershed, then I can add it to the app itself. But for now, because I have no idea what are the fields, I just created a.
Do you intend to keep a history of the data? Let's say, for example, you have a forest and then there was deforestation. So all the trees were gone. What happens to your data?
Yeah, basically all the data that is uploaded in the parse is stored. I mean, if we can create an admin page where, if, for example, if we wanted to update a tree that was cut or a tree that was newly planted. I mean, the history is all there in the database. Thank you.
So, okay. Where's the next group? Idea 92? Idea
Idea 92. How many minutes do we wait for them? So, DevOps, sige. Then, Idea 92 start setting up. Then, so we'll give the judges the time to judge. Then, Idea 92 could set up while they're judging.
Oh.
Please get ready. Ikaw lang sapat na. Para
So, ikaw lamang sapat na. That the most sweet romantic name. Can you also start preparing over there so we would know? Thank you.
test to share.
Are the judges ready? Yes. So the next group is Idea 92. So here you go.
Hi, good afternoon. So what we actually have here is an app that you could take, you could monitor all the trees in your area, and people could actually pick their own zone or tree to what they could take care. So how does it work? There's a plus button here. Actually, it works on here. I just can't connect the computer right now, but so you tap on the plus button, and you could actually take down a tree. Not take down, but check in the tree. I'm sorry, or monitor a tree. So you would take care of it. You take note when it was planted, when it died, fortunately or hopefully not, and the description or what are other notes, how to grow that tree properly to give its potential and maximum. And using that data, we would actually use it as an analytical tool, which would be used in our website. That would be used for decision making, which my teammates have the website right now.
Okay, so for the website, uh, anyone can go to the maps. Sorry.
We created a website and also a separate mobile app, but at the moment it's not yet synchronized. Hopefully we'll have the API teach more power for that.
Okay, so this is the home page, and any user can go through the maps and they'll be able to see the okay. In the map, they'll be able to see the places where the ranger has marked as marked trees uh, like there's 100 trees in this uh, certain area. There's a marker there.
So So while he's loading his work, what we're trying to do actually here is to know the number of trees in a certain area, so we can actually have an idea of how much water capacity it could actually control, so it would prevent floods, and also how much ground it could actually, or how strong a tree could actually hold the ground. And it would be a very good start to actually taking down notes, because I'm pretty sure probably some of us or some rangers in our emerging market or in the Philippines doesn't really take down that much data yet. So we want to have a start for that. So
Nangyari? What is that sound?
Yeah, you'll be able to see the marks that the ranger has pinned and the description what that area is. We also have
Microphone, Jimmy. Sorry, your time is up. Okay, so judges or ayun, questions. Who's supposed to use that?
Forest rangers and also people in the community, so they can actually pick their tree or spot that they want to protect, or if the spot is kind of like bald or something, they could plant trees there or whatever plant they want to put. And they would have the supported data from the app on how to grow it properly. Just to show you that the app actually works, because they have the time there. You could click here, you could add a new plant, or you can put in the thing, and you can view them, how much plants you have planted, or how much things you actually added already, or how much plants you did.
So if I'm not a ranger, is it easy for me to use?
Yes, actually I could give it to you and you could play it right now. And so it's actually, let's say you're just having your normal hike if you do, and you could take down pictures of the surroundings and, oh, this is the tree I actually adopted or something. So I take down of it and I would know, oh, it's doing well. It has changes.
Will it tell me what plants that? Because I don't know. I'm taking photos.
Yeah, at the moment we have kind of like this plant type ID. We wanted it to be a scientific name, which we don't really have the expertise right now. We want to have the different scientific names for the plants in order for us to take down data, and it's up to the, let's say, community user to be like, oh, I could nickname this tree also, because I love it so much. But our goal really here is to know how many trees there are and how much it could hold water and ground, and how it would help us, and carbon and oxygen shenanigans.
Okay, time's up.
So there's a question from, excuse me. Are able to track the number of people who are resettling in the protected area?
Yes and no. And the yes part is we would know how many users actually are using in a certain area, but we wouldn't really know how much is the actual population of that area. We just know how many users we have in that area. We're also, you know, taking a step in joining the process of protecting the trees and growing them.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, Idea Night Group. So both the first and second group are addressing set number 4. So now I'll give time to ikaw lang sapat na group to prepare
And next,
and give time to the judges to judge.
Put there.
Okay, field and robotics, can you also go to the table so you could start preparing? Judges, are you ready? Hindi pa? Not yet? Oh, not yet. Okay. So, name of the group is Ikaw Lang, Sapat Na, and problem set number 5. Okay, let's wait. So, are all the judges ready? Yes? Yes? Okay, so the next group is Ikaw Lamang, Sapat Na. Idea set number 5.
Hi, good afternoon. We're team Ikaw Lang Sapat Na, and our application is called Pangea, and it is a location-based application, web application, where you can check for the nearest evacuation or any infrastructure where you can, the nearest infrastructure where you can evacuate. So once you go through the default view of the website, you can see the map, and then here you can see the different evacuation centers that are near to the user, to the location of the user. So once your location has been identified and you click one evacuation center in here, so it will show the nearest path you can take, the shortest path you can take to go to the nearest evacuation center that you chose. And it also has the name of the place, the address, and also the number of people inside the infrastructure. And it can also show the capacity of how many people can go inside the evacuation center. So if you are, this is the default view of the application, but if you have a user account, you can check, you can click evacuate button, and your user information, such as your name and the date and time when you registered or get inside the place, will be recorded. And then once you click the place, you would be able to see how many people are checked in and who are these people who are inside the evacuation center. And also, if you have friends, you can also check their location where they are currently residing in any of the evacuation centers. So now we're going to go to the administrator side of the application, which is going to be explained by Gia.
Hi, I'm JM. So here's the admin side. Ito yung gagamit ng LGUs. Monitor yung current situation dun sa lugar. So yung una is, ito yung mga lugar na gagamiting evacuation centers. So inano lang namin yan for the sake of presentation. Gawa kami ng mock-ups. Kasi yun yung nakikita niyo dito sa Pangea. Siya yung green here, yung green. So kung susunod tayo, makita niyo yung ibang green spots, yung ibang evacuation centers. So meron doon, wala pa pala. Ayun, isa, dalawa. Medyo magkakaiwalay kasi. So another thing is, kinukuha niya yung current location. So,
judges, audience, do you have any question? Yes, sir.
I think the problem set is looking at the structural integrity of the infrastructure. Like, so how do you intend to add those information? Like, for example, I would assume that the local government are looking for, like, for example, this evacuation center, what would be the material that is being used? Is it safe to go there? I am actually looking at those kinds of information.
So for example, you can add a new location or an evacuation center, and we're going to add all the inputs that are needed, like the materials, the size, the capacity, anything that includes all the things about engineering and architecture. So it would be more informational for the LGUs to identify if it is compatible for as an evacuation center.
And how do you intend to get those information?
So we're going to, in the administrator module, the admins can add a new evacuation center, and then we're just gonna provide all the inputs that are needed, so we can reflect it to the database and then show it to the users.
Other questions?
Other questions? None? Sure? There's a question at the back. Go.
Evacuation center. Would you also include, like, if the streets are flooded? So, you know, if the shortest way to the evacuation center is flooded, then you shouldn't use that street.
Hi, I'll use that mic, yeah.
Yes, ma'am, that's a very good suggestion. We can, so of course there are some factors like the roads are broken or the area is flooded. So the map can check if the area is already flooded, and it will provide a alternative way to the evacuation center. So it will be safe for the user to track the nearest evacuation center. Yes, please.
Okay. Time is up, so thank you. Ikaw lang sapat na team. Yan. So again, giving time to the judges to judge. Then we'll have the Phil Robotics team to set up first, then while they're judging.
We call in the next team.
Okay, so next team would be, where is Bumpanes? Can you please set up over there? Are you, okay. So, sige. Okay, so the next team is Phil Robotics. Request ng mga judges, I will read the solution set that the team that is going to present is trying to address. So for Phil Robotics, they're addressing solution set number 5. And the solution set is mobile apps that account for structural integrity of key and critical infrastructures of the LGU. So now, are the judges ready?
Yes.
I'll turn you over to, hold on now. They're convening. Sorry, wait. Okay, so Phil Robotics set number 5. So here's Phil Robotics.
Yeah, we're Phil Robotics. As you can see, unlike other competitor we have here, we have a kit here we have right now, which is an access point. So basically, we are going for a solution for the stability of a structure. So any structural engineer here in the house, do we have civil engineer? There's one. Structural engineer. I just only saw one. So the solution we are providing you here now is not only for the structural capability or integrity, but we're also giving a more greater solution. your apps can even be giving solution as well, because we are also catering the pre and post disaster with this device that we are presenting to you and our apps. So why are we going to do this one? So for the pre-disaster one, how can we know if our structure are that having that integrity? Working in a consultancy construction company firm as an IT, I know and see some of the schematics. I have read some of those researches that they did. And what they can do, because not everybody here can say that, okay, my building is actually have a high integrity. So we cannot just say, mang, as we saw in that, manggula. So every local government unit or municipality have a structural engineer who actually have the capability to inspect. So what we're going to do? We are going to use one of the basic common communication, which is chatting. So anybody here who has a smartphone, application, tablet can actually chat and go to the net database so that the structural engineer can provide an okay, like for example, I'm a principal in the school, my school is actually 5 years old, I can see some cracks, okay, can you please check on this one? I can send you some images, and then the structural engineer will actually chat back, sir, I think we need to renovate something, blah, blah, blah. So for the post-disaster, like what happened to me in my family in Tacloban, actually communication that is very, very hard. GSM, no use of call, no internet, so that's why we're giving this. I give the floor to Vic to provide you some of the technical details of our project.
As you can see, we call it iMesh. Basically, what we are offering is the smartphone needs to connect to a portable access point. This access point is connected via radio to our command center at the back.
There's some antennas. We have one of our guys there.
Okay, so who will refuse free Wi-Fi in a disaster area? So this device provides free Wi-Fi to anybody who needs to communicate. Then the signal is transferred to the command center and then it's routed to the internet.
Okay. I'm sure they have questions. So questions?
Questions. I guess one of the questions I'm going to ask for you is, you might ask, how can we get internet?
Question? Si ma'am, question.
Last year, usually I should permit for all user staff building together, resident, and how would you foresee connecting all of the information, engineering designs, building designs, and use it as leader generating information as information?
So this our system also if you're given the free Wi-Fi, the first information that the system will ask you is your user information. So you have to give your username and phone number to register you on the system, and then we can give you the free Wi-Fi. So let's say, and then you need to submit. So if you'd like to send a text message to your friends or family, you can do that also. Or if you don't want to do that, do you want to volunteer? If you say yes,
Actually connecting, try also to connect here.
so this is a helpline. We have an operator on the command center.
So while we are connected,
they can interact real time. So all of this information is sent to the central database. Experts can view the chat logs. They can also ask more information. Did that answer your question?
yeah, we use radio, but if in case like what happened in Tacloban, we have no internet at all from the lines or Wi-Fi. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the satellite internet to connect to this one, and you have access point. Make some antennas with that one so that we can have a radius, greater radius to attend. And then we can airdrop this one, bring this one, receive to assist within 24 hours.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you. Ayan, so giving time to the judges to judge again. So now, Bumpanes will give you time to prepare. So you're answering solution set number 3. Yes. Okay.
Next. Prepare next team.
Okay. Ay. So next team DE, are you here? Team DE. Yes, so okay. Ready na po pala sila. Thank you. So after the presentation of Bumpanes, we're gonna call all the first 5 presentation again for any questions, any further questions, to give the judges more time to assess because they find the 3 minutes too short. And well, unfair na kung dadagdagan natin yung time for the future app. So we're gonna call them in front again, then give the judges time to ask more questions. Then from the audience as well. So, paata sila ready na.
Okay na kayo, sir? Sila naman. Anong yung group?
So, it's Team Bumpanes solution set number 3. And the solution set is apps that will develop simulated models or scenarios that can trigger floods and landslides in vulnerable and poor areas of the LGUs based on real-time and available weather data. So, Bumpanes solution set number 3. So, here.
Okay, to speak. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Telvin. I'm accompanied by my co-teammates, Adrian and Jenny. So they're going to help me with what they made. I'm just moral support for them. So we're thinking the solution set honestly has already the answer. You could see it in your Mac or PC that it's already there, the answer. You can see the weather forecast. You could see from Monday to Sunday, it's sunny, it's cloudy, etc., etc. You could see the rainfall, will there be storm or something like that. So we come up with an idea. What's all that about? It's just letters and numbers. So what do I care? It's 100 millimeters per hour of rain. What does it do to me? But honestly, I'm gonna drop if that's the case if I'm with Marikina. So when we come up with something that will visualize to the users what will happen. So let's say I'm gonna input to start off for a while. Honestly, as you can see, it's still unfinished. So there are other parts that we want. For example, a while ago we saw a tweet by DOST Pagasa. We're going to put the feed of the tweet, the Twitter account there. So people who use it have ideas. So as you can see, we're also using artificial intelligence markup language, so it's interactive. We call it Pinoy. So bear with his eyes, maybe because he has a different grade today, so his eyes are very. So for a while ago, Jenny's pressed high. So we're Filipinos. We're talking about our own product, so we're talking to him in Filipino also. So he says, magandang araw, we say hi. We could ask, saan ba ulan? So, could you enter that? He will say, it's an interactive due to the AI. So, it's like you're talking to a person. It's not like, tignan mo nga itong page na to, stormy. So, someone's talking to you like that. So, when you click that, check the location, as you can see, the areas are raining. So, when you click that, am I correct when you click that? It's wrong. So, how many minutes do you still have there? Sorry for the technical difficulties, but to skip what they're troubleshooting, there will be a graph. So there will be a rain graph regarding that part. So once you click the Google Map, it will check how many millimeters per hour it will take. So you could also, honestly, we're also going to put, if it's like 100 millimeters per hour, you will see pinoid round. You say it's like knee deep, let's say 50 millimeters per hour, you will see if it's knee deep, if it's in this place, so it's the same like that. Thank you.
So, thank you. Okay. So we have a question from Pia.
Who's supposed to use this?
Good afternoon, ma'am. We're talking about local government units, and also end users can use it like some household people.
Okay. Kasi my only concern with this is if it's open to everybody and it's not just confined to the LGU. Everyone become experts. In predicting.
Okay. We're just using 8-dummy API, but we can use an API that's currently, for example, Project NOAA. Let's say when I ask saan umuulan, we're going to give right answers, not just it's rainy there. It's also an informative. As you can see, we forgot to show it. You could just type Bagyo. It will say what's the meaning of Bagyo. If you're not familiar with that, what's Yolanda? If you're not familiar with that, they will explain it. So it's interactive, so it's informative, not to only the LGUs, so also to the people. So they would be more informative. They will have more information when it comes to calamities.
Other questions?
I think with Project Note also gives you a forecast of the weather. So let's say it says that within the next 12 hours there will be this amount of rain. Can the app also mention or show visually how deep the flood would be after X hours?
So, good afternoon, sir. That's the problem a while ago. We're going to show you that without the Google Maps, you saw the markers. Once you click on that, there's just a technical difficulties. You will see the bar graph for our rain forecast. So you will see 50 millimeters 6 a.m., 10 p.m. it decreases, so and so on. You could also change it in the future. It depends on time. Thank you.
Wow, so thank you. So we'll give you time to judge while we're doing that. Can I call on the first 5 teams to in front for any other questions from the judges, from the audience? So DevOps, Idea 92, ikaw lang sapat na, Phil Robotics, and Bumpa, stay in front. Okay, sige. So, ano ba? One question and answer lang daw po. Or 1 minute final words, hindi na daw. Sorry. Okay, so, any other question? Sige, in front po. So, si Sir may question.
May clarification na kami sa field robotics. Okay. How are you going to help access ng satellite?
Okay. As far as I know and I heard from the news na magkakaroon ng mga deployment ng satellite phone sa bawat LGU unit based sa news na nabasa ko. And that is also proposed by the Disaster Council. Something. I heard that they are planning dahil yun yung pinaka-quick access na nakita nila during Yolanda to give a phone, to give news info.
One more thing, yung ibang mga NGOs that are the first responders, meron silang mga dalang satellite phones yung iba. So if they would like to volunteer yung airtime ng satellite phones nila, pwede natin ikabit on the server. Tapos yun ang daily
Like what? Globe and the other telecoms.
Ang goal namin is within 24 hours to deploy ka sa disaster area for maximum. Siyempre, yung mga load ng batteries ng mga smartphones ng users, yun ang hinahabol.
So yung portable nyo na 80, where will you get the power?
Yeah, wala namin na case yung last 8 hours.
Yeah, as you mentioned, last 8 hours lang siya. But then, yung kagaya nung pag once na naka-set up na yung sat phone doon sa command center na gagawin natin, we can have a mesh of up to, depende kung gaano kataas yung antenna ang gagamitin. It might be 5K, 2K. Tapos, i-deploy namin yun. You can actually use other kind of battery like yung sa car battery or yung sa mga SLA batteries. Besides that, but yung dinala namin is portable lang kasi.
You didn't really address the exact problem, but you're saying that you're introducing the infrastructure for communication.
Yeah, actually, yung first problem na namin is yung chatting, yung pagbibitaw ng information like, ako, si principal, ito yung nakita ko, I want to get an information kasi ayoko manghula kung babagsak na pa itong building. So I can take a chat sa aming chat na ginawa. Actually, yun nga kaya pre and post pwede siyang gamitin. Very flexible yung ginawa namin sa...
Pero it does not answer it directly.
Yeah.
So you're basically creating the infrastructure. That's what you're saying.
Other questions? Other questions? I see Miss Pia. May tanong.
Yeah, this is I think for everybody. Because part of the criteria is sustainability. Did you ever consider the devices and how you when you develop your solution?
So, let's start from the first. Sorry.
So bali, regarding dun sa app na ginawa ko, so alam naman natin ang sustainability ng mga apps na once na in-upload ko siya sa App Store or sa Google, madali na siya ma-download ng mga users. So any updates other than that, madali na.
I think what I meant is on the end user side, so the kind of devices that they have, and how did you build your solution based on what's common to the users and target audience?
So basically yung sa ginawa na app, para lang siyang Instagram for disaster risk reduction. Kaso nga lang, parang inisip ko na this, parang nagkaroon ka na lang ng simpleng app na parang Instagram pero nagkagather siya ng data to reduce the disaster. So regarding naman dun sa actual devices, siguro naman yung mga actual users ng phone na meron concept.
So, second.
Hello? Okay, so what we actually did, we have a website that could be accessible in any computer who has a web browser. And also we have an Android app. We specifically chose the Android platform because most of the market penetration for phones is actually Android. So we really haven't had the time to demonstrate the whole features, but yeah, that's pretty much for accessibility of our app or our product.
Yes. So in our application, it is a responsive website. So you can not only access it through your web browsers, but you can also use your mobile phones, your desktop computers, since the website can automatically adjust based on the size of your screen. So the only fallback is that you need an internet connection. And so we can provide a mobile application that can be used offline. So
ikaw lang sapat na. Sorry, that's the reason.
So, Ricky Bumbales again, ma'am. Just clarify. Also, our system app is compatible with mobile and web and other devices because it's live. Almost all of the applications use API, so it won't be an issue regarding sustainability. Thank you.
Use the web app. So, and we named our access point free Wi-Fi use browser. So that's it's a device agnostic.
Other questions?
Other questions from the audience? From other participants? Questions? Okay. So thank you to the first 5 teams. Give them a round of applause.
So to be fair with everyone, since we're the first group, we asked them to come up and further explain their application. So for the succeeding groups, we'll be given additional time para hindi na tayo mag-ganon ulit. So one speak 1 minute each. So 4, tapos if you and 8. Thank you po.
Okay. So, hindi po sa akin galing yun, galing sa group. Nag-announce lang si Mitch. So, yan. Okay, so the next group is DE. Addressing solution set number 5. Okay. So, again, solution number 5 is for structural integrity of key and critical infrastructures. Okay. There's still. So are you good? Ay, projector. Yeah.
Right there.
Okay. So you're okay. So again, this is Team BE.
Hello. Good afternoon. I'm Justin and my partner is Ted here. And we created a real deal in determining. And starting here, we collected the that they should have to support these LGU structures. And we base this on the current hazard here in the Philippines and see, guess what? By swipe and a tap from iOS app. So we have handed you our iPhone for our prototype, which is connected to a database or an API. What happens now is LGUs, if anyone here is looking at that, this is just the start. So what we did is we managed to create a detailed narrative based on the answers on the application. As seen here, you just have to put in the date, click done. You move on to the next step, which is when was it created, further cracks, further any immersion in water. And the great thing here, it's automatic. Yes, you heard me right. Everything is automatic. Once you have answered this, you can click done, and we will show you the detailed narrative report to a PDF file. So this is now connected to through our API, and it will show you the age of the building. Its suggestion when it is next to be checked. And we also have it, if you scroll down, we will recommend you to have the engineer check it out for you. So the unusual thing here is that in the Philippines, it takes weeks or even longer to have these narrative reports. But now through this API and web app, iOS app, you'll have it in under 5 seconds after answering the questions. So the goal here, let's check our homes, let's check our LGUs and have a professional check it.
So yeah, question from Mr. Eli.
Who's gonna use this? Specifically the surveyors. And they're doing the field, right? And you're assuming that they have continuous internet connection?
The great thing here is that The great thing here is that the application saves the data on the mobile phone.
Offline, let's say.
Yes, offline. And as you see here, there's a download link available at the arrow there, and it syncs up to our API and downloads a PDF file that you can send through email, through chat, or save it to your local devices.
Also collect the data.
Not at the moment, although that's one of the things that we would like to improve moving forward.
Other questions? 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 Wala? Sure? Direct yung time tapos question. So, judges, further questions?
I think they're okay.
Okay. So, thank you, DE. So, may I now call on Ego. So, try to prepare. Again, we'll give time to the judges to judge. Okay.
Ellie, mamaya pag may break ulit ng take to 5, dun namin di para di sa kanila. Parang hindi nasisira yung wala. I told you guys, I don't have HDMI. Wait. HDMI. Ito.
Does anyone have an HDMI cable? Okay. Andito po. Ayan. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
So we're a community helping each other find cables. Okay, so for those who want to watch, you can come closer kasi wala po tayo HDMI cable.
Or dito sa YouTube. Yung ano.
Or you can view.
Kakayanin ba ng bandwidth natin? Oo,
Kakayanin daw ng global bandwidth. You can watch the Hangouts on air. So yun, pakihanap na lang po yung link somewhere. Okay? So, let's wait for the judges to finish judging the earlier group.
Can you like, maliit siya eh. Kaso, walang HDMI yan. It's an old,
Okay, sorry. So, are the judges ready? Ayan. Is everyone ready? Yes. Are you still okay?
Yes.
Okay. So Team Ego is addressing solution set number 5. So same with the earlier group. So integrity of key and critical infrastructures. So here you go, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to, because I have a different perspective on the question. So when they said infrastructure, I said, how about the communication structure? So how schools have communication structures, infrastructure. Those who comes from public schools here, who comes from private schools. Only the private schools here in our country have communication infrastructure. So that is what I want to propose. So who are parents here? So there are parents here. Did you give any, what do you give them for during emergencies? Diba the usual is the pito and the flashlight. So what if Globe will give another emergency application for you? So this is what we are proposing, a QR code for children. So parents can give their children QR codes by Globe. So for example, here you will tap to continue. Then first of all, the parent will create an account for the children. So they would list here the name of the child, and they will register. Then they will put their phone numbers. So during emergencies, this would happen. So during emergencies, now if a school already has a communication infrastructure, then any children can now call their mom and dad. So but also the other purpose. Like the first one for me, I also have relatives in Tacloban and also in Northern Cebu. Then we all know what happened. First there was an earthquake, then Yolanda. So during that time, yes, it was evident that there was problem with communications. But we should also think about that. It was not only about satellite or no, the towers were gone. Most of them lost their cell phones. Most of them don't already have electricity. So they don't, and of course in our generation today, we don't memorize any more numbers. So this is what we try to answer, and this is our solution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you define what you mean by communication infrastructure in schools? What is that setup?
Actually, ma'am, our proposal is a payphone in schools. So we want to provide all public schools, all schools. Then a student will be given an ID. Of course, we are always given, but the ID would be given a QR code specific for the child. So for an ID, we don't only get the ID with a picture of us, but also an ID that's useful when we want to communicate.
Kasi di ba the IDs already have a barcode? Isn't using a QR code another layer for the school? The IDs have typically have barcodes.
Yes, ma'am.
So the QR code is another layer for them.
Yes, ma'am. But the barcode is usually provided for the infrastructure within the schools. They have a system for them. This one is another one, which is another one with our system. That is another. I think there's no redundancy, but we have different factors that try to provide.
What I think what she's saying.
Sorry.
Hello, just use the barcode. Existing barcode system.
Yes. With the QR code, we were thinking a lot of things. We were looking at barcodes, we were looking at QR codes, we are looking at RFID and those sort of things. But we have seen that QR code are much more like, I know there's already a mobile app that could read, but we have seen that QR code could be read. For example, in the future, we create a system for a mobile or any other system. A QR code.
So you're saying it should be read by this easily compared to budget. So you're saying we need to put all these kiosks to the schools. Sorry, sino gagamit ito?
First, of course, is the plan.
So, ang scenario is, as estudyante ako, punta ako sa scanner natin, makapag-communicate ako sa parents ko. But you just told me na nawawala na. So how would they communicate?
Yes.
Are you solving the actual problem or?
Yes, sir. I get your point. Of course, they lost their cell phones. The other thing is, of course, like I said, we also put contacts here. So if I try, it's not only my parents' numbers here, but I could put any other numbers, like any of my relatives. So if I cannot contact my parents, then I could contact any near relatives of mine. So it's still there.
Yeah. What stops you from just borrowing somebody else's phone and then contacting them?
Okay.
Or saving that phone numbers in a notebook?
Yes, sir. But you remember?
Can you write it in a notebook?
What if that this one is like I said, this one is
Shield.
Yes, it's in problem. Mine is just we are doing things because the QR code. I mean,
dito pinahirapan eh.
This is
You're saying that you're trying to introduce a solution that doesn't necessarily solve that problem.
I think what you're trying to do is you're introducing a new user behavior. So it will take time for the and for your solution to this taking. So I think that's what we have to look into.
Okay. So, thank you. So, yun. So, now, we'll give you time to put in the scores. So, team, ito yung mahirap i-pronounce eh. Prepare. So, I'm not sure if it's silent S. Silent S. Can you teach us how to
Working size ko po is from size scorpions.
Okay. Sige. So, they'll do the judging. Size. Yung mahirap yung size ko.
Requirements of the teams na kita niyo.
So are you solution set number 4? So I think this is the hindi. So it will track watershed and protected areas in the LGs. So in terms of reforestation, and encroachment of families to the protected areas. So, judges ready? Everyone ready? Yes. Is the team ready? Okay. 10 seconds. 10, 9. Wow. For communication barrier. Can we use Google Translate here? Will it work? Yeah, there. Okay. So now I'll turn you over to them.
So for our we focus on reforestation and forest. Basically the forest, if you like the forest. So basically our app is a social app. So tatagalin na lang po ako. Ang app po namin, bali, pwede po kayong anonymously magbigay ng mga info tungkol sa mga kalagayan ng ating kagubatan. So, paano namin matatrack kung peke ba yung user? Balik, gumagamit kami ng UUID para malaman namin kung tunay ba yung mga users na yun. Ang kagandahan nito, kunwari, ako, may nakita akong mama na may dalang chainsaw, pumuputol ng puno. Siyempre, nagmamadali ako, gusto kong ma-report siya. Natatakot ako na mag-report sa police, mamaya. Kasabot sila, gano'n. Kaya, kaya dito, anonymously, pwede namin maipadala sa LGUs o kung sino man na makakakita nito, yung current na kalagayan ng ating kalikasan, ating mahal na kalikasan. So, ang kagandahan pa nito, kung sakaling hindi naman ganun kaganda yung pinost ng users, we have voting system. So, it could be ranked by votes and be ranked by the dates kung kailan siya nakuha. So, mas madali makukuha ng users kung ano yung magandang mga nangyayari dun maganda sa kamaling nangyayari dun sa kagubatan natin. So, pwede rin silang mag-share ng kunwari, nagtatanim sila ng mga puno, pwede nilang i-share para ma-encourage yung ibang users na sumali sa kanila, ganito. Kaya, ito yung naisip namin gawin. So, ano pa ba? So, yun po. Kaya ang naisip ko namin ito, gawa ng anonymously, pwede mong i-share yung gusto mong ibigay sa mga nasa government na hindi mo at risk yung tungkol sa sarili mo. So, ang isa naming inisip dito, paano kung may mga users na nagpo-post ng mga peke? Siyempre, hindi namin alam kung paano sila ibablock. Pero kaming administrative panel para monitor yung mga posts na mali. Meron kami itong blocking system based sa UDID per device. Based sa UDID per device. So, ang binablock namin is yung device, hindi yung user. So, pero na lang kung mayaman yung user, pwede siyang bumili ng maraming cellphone. So, ito po, sample na kumukuha ng picture. May mga upvote, downvote, vote, per vote, by vote ranking. Meron siyang determinant kung paano mo nirarank. So, yung CMS namin, lumalabas post ng users. So, medyo sumumpo ng sobra. Here po, bali may geolocation din po kami para malaman namin kung saan ba nakuha ng picture na yun. Kasi kailangan ng mga, siyempre, pag kumuha ng picture, nagmamadali ka, hindi mo alam kung ano yung tatype mo. Kailangan, automatically, may saan mo agad yung picture. Kaya yung app na yun, yung bahala na magbigay ng location kung saan mo nakuha.
So, thank you. Buti lumabas yung app at last. So, we have a question from Pia.
Hello? Imagine I'm an LGU. Convince me why I will use that app. I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Ang gusto po namin, mabigyan ng freedom yung mga users sa kayong LGU na ma-share ko ano yung nakikita nila na hindi man lang at least ko ano yung pangalan nila. Kuwari, gusto kong, may nakita kong mga ganitong pangyayari tungkol sa kaligasan natin. Siyempre, gusto kong i-share siya na hindi man lang at risk ako. Kasi ngayon sa internet, lahat at risk na. Ang iisipin ko, gusto ko maibigay yung nilalahad ko ng freely, may freedom. Kaya para dito, anonymously may share ko yung gusto ko tungkol sa nakikita ko.
I would share
because gusto ko makatulong sa atin. Ganun po.
How would I help?
By promoting po yung planting, tapos kung may mga masasama pong nangyayari, pwede po natin ipakita na mali po to, tapos parang maibibigay rin po yung information na to sa kinauukulan para mag-take action po tungkol dun sa nangyayari.
Other from the audience. Erika.
I have a question about how to prevent your reporting system from being abused. Like, it is anonymous, so there's no way of tracking the report, but what prevents me from making, garbage reports or throwing slander at someone?
There's a voting system. There's a voting system. So every user has the power to provide if the submitted data is correct or not. And based on the votes, we could block the user if it's not relevant with the purpose of the app.
Depends on
Other questions?
Would there be a facility to aid the process or to process the data that's being collected so that one could tell whether Area X has high rates of deforestation?
We haven't done that, but it could be possible. It could be possible since may geolocation po siya.
nakatag po itong badges base sa image, we could process it by batch, and by that, we could generate reports based on the location.
So, thank you. Team Director. Times to. Okay, so now, I would like to call on Team Pink. Ano po yung full name ng Team Pink nandito para? Nandito ba sila? Kasi I'm not sure kung kasama to kasi iba yung font and iba yung pen. So, Team Pink, Biluga.
Wala sila sa online.
Okay, so wala. So now we're moving on to the next group. So fans of Cat Paddy. So okay, sige. While they're setting up, I'll give you time to judge. So they're trying to solve solution set number 1. So they're the first team who will present about solution number 1 actually. So are the judges ready? So Team Cat Paddy solution set number 1 is about apps that will aid the LGUs to cut the red tape in reviewing and issuing permits. So the app will combine the hazard maps and the land use plans and provide easy information and criteria-based decisions being a facility for approving or issuing permits. So it's about issuing permits. Okay? So now, I turn you over to Team Fans of Cat Paddy.
Thanks. Good afternoon, we are the fans of Cat Paddy. If you're wondering, our idol is Heidi. Cat Paddy is the beautiful girl in blue hiding the corner. Anyway, so our app is called the Electronic Registry for Permit Assessment and Tracking, otherwise known as ERPA. And during our planning, we identified 3 types of people who will be using this app. So the first type of person is the applicant. So my teammate will pretend to be the applicant. So let's say he wants to create a building permit. So there's a map, and then he's going to look for his neighborhood over there. And anyway, if he finds it, he's just curious what if. Okay, first we will show you the hazard. Okay, later. Anyway, so he can apply. We actually just invented the fields involved because we're not really sure. But let's just pretend that it's complete, because we are all creative and imaginative people here. So. Okay. So, but after submitting, okay. Well, okay. Okay, so that's the first type of person. So we cannot, unfortunately, there are really paperwork that cannot be submitted electronically. So the best we can do is to help them create the application form, and we'll give them a PDF version of the information. Okay, so there. So the second type of person who use the app is the inspector. So let's say this app has been accepted, and then the inspector, which is my second teammate over here, will be able to see the sites that are queued for inspection. Okay, so let's refresh. So anyway, so there's a list of sites over there, and then he will be able to visit a site. So when he visits the site, you can see the details. We are not going to press those buttons because it crashes in the emulator, but if you want, we can show you that it does work on a real phone later versus phone. Anyway, it's there. Okay, so the person, so the inspector can add some notes. Okay, we can. Okay, anyway, the inspector should be able to add inspection notes and choose if he will accept or deny the application. But since we'll just demonstrate it later if you'd like. But anyway, let's skip to the third person who's using it, who is the approver. So once it is approved by the inspector, he will be able, the approver can also view the data, and he will select the data, and all of the data from the application and also from the inspection report will be here. I'm sorry, but we cannot show you the hazard maps that are in the upper right corner, but if you'd like to go to airpath.app.com, you'll be able to see them in the upper right. So you can count also. This is the exact point that the applicant and the inspector and the other guy all stressed. So we have a lot of other improvements in mind, but I think that's our MVP for this.
Thank you. Oh yeah, that's sure.
Hi, dun sa approver, so before I approve, is there a way for me to pose a question if I need some information before I approve? So is that supported? Because when I saw that, so the inspector submits the information and it goes to the approver. So for me, because my approval already will be will trigger all the, yeah. So is there a way for me to validate more?
In our app, not right now, but we do collect the app information of the applicant, so you can contact him if you want. For the inspector, we don't have a way for you to interact with the inspector, because we can improve the app.
So is this designed to be mobile or supposed to be on a desktop?
So we envision the applicant and the approver will be working from a kiosk or a site, and the inspector has a mobile apps because he's going to the different sites of the list. So one of our improvements that we wanted to do is to show the points for inspection on the map instead of just a list, so that you can see where you're going, where the points are together in relation to where you are.
I have a question. How will the system expedite the issuance of the permit? Like for example, is there a way for system to alert the approver, the one who gives approval on the application?
Hindi, kasi pwede.
Like, you know, many of the local government officials are always
Pwede ko naman kunin to.
they're out. So if they're not in their office, how will they know that there's actually a pending request?
Okay, sir, we actually did not consider that. We considered that when the app was done, approved or rejected, we could alert the applicant. We could also add alerting. I mean, for every person who's involved in the workload, we can easily add notifications.
Other questions? Questions from the audience? Questions? None? Okay, so thank you, Team Katani.
Ako muna.
Sorry. Sorry, Michael. So, may call Team Helios. So, can you start preparing? Then, we'll decide. Team Helios. Okay, so let's 2-minute break daw muna. So let's give him time to set up, and there's still snacks and there's still cake. So sige, you can get your snacks muna. So after Team Helios, Manis, where are you? Asan po yung team? So can you prepare on the table over there? So after Team Helios, Team Manis? Oh, andyan. Oh, okay. Ay, nasa floor kayo kung nakita. Okay. Sige yun. So you can start setting up on the table. So again, we're live by Hangout on Air. So the guy over here.
Eddie? Si Del.
Yeah, so Del is holding the camera for our Hangouts on Air. So, pag kumarap siya sa inyo, please wave. Okay, so you're live in YouTube.
Wag kuya, kinunan mo yun. Ang sama mo.
Is everyone okay?
Yes.
Yes, excited. We're down to the last, 8 teams, including Team Helios. Okay? So last 8. Are we excited to the acts we've seen so far? Yes? Excited to find out who the winner will be? Yes? No? No?
The prize is the beanbag.
So they want different prices. They want the beanbag.
Free
You want the beanbag.
Yeah, the beanbags.
Free beanbag for consolation prizes.
No, okay, so it's from Google. Sorry.
Oh.
Preload daw. Okay. So we're ready to resume. So everyone settle down. So now, Team Helios will also address solution set number 1, which is about the issuing of permits. So I turn you over to Team Helios.
Hi, good afternoon po sa lahat. So, ang app namin is called Field Assessor. So, based on the description is will educate on issuing building permits and hopefully nakalagay doon is to cut red tape for yung paggawa ng mga gawa. So, first things first is maglalagin po tayo dun sa app. So, as soon as mag-login po tayo dun sa app, dito po sa part na to is ang trinay po natin unang i-assess is yung mga some of yung pinaka-popular na hazards like earthquake, fault lines na pinakamalapit dun sa location na gusto natin i-assess. So, press po natin yung evaluate location. Then, since GPS po yung gamit niya, so pwede tayong mag-assess whether nasa man tayo. So, for now, wala pa po kasi tayo ng accurate data. So, yung mga standards and other barometers na officially is wala pa naman. So, hindi pa po tayo makapag-generate ng totoong report. But as soon as makapag-report naman tayo, I think na APIs makakapag-generate na po tayo ng mas accurate and mas precise na report. Pero dito po kasi meron po tayo nakalagay na Valero Point 1. Ano po yun? Parang parang static lang na sinadya lang namin para ma-visualize ng lahat. So, pag view po natin ng map, so makikita po natin yung current location natin. And yung nearest fault line nakalagay po doon, is makikita natin yung nearest fault line na nandun na sinabi nga ng ating app. So, yung naka-color blue po, yun po yung fault line na pinakamalaki. Sa other criteria naman po, since this is just a part of marami pang compliance na kailangan nilang para part of compliance na marami nilang dapat i-accomplish, it will serve as a checklist. Like, naglagay lang po na kami ng mga tatlong parang reminders. So, pag kinikan niya yun, and submit, masasend sa server yung lahat ng data na nilagay as soon as possible. So, hopefully, sana, kung sino man si approver, if ever na meron sa kanyang mag-attempt to do that, is hindi niya magagawa kasi wala siyang access para mag-edit ng data na nasend. And so magiging obvious yun. Tapos data will be sent agad-agad eh. So makikita niya agad kung pass or fail yung specific location yun for that specific compliance. So sa backend po, so ganito po yung magiging query in the backend. And then po yung data and yung current location po na pinapla na hinihingi. So, yun po.
Yeah, can I take a picture dun sa ano? Can you take a picture of what you're inspecting? Sino ba yung nagamit nito? The surveyor, can they take a picture? So, but it can be done. Then submit. And then how do you sync online? Needs internet connection.
Ako naman. Tapos balikan mo ako ulit.
Ang pwedeng gawin is kasi muna sa cache lahat ng data. And then as soon as magkaroon tayo ng internet connection, siya kami ibabalik.
Oo. Tayo ka na. Ay tayo. Balikan mo mamaya.
Other questions? Questions? None? So, thank you, Team Videos. Did you recognize yung teammates niya? So, yun. So, the judges do your thing. Okay, and so, where's team? Saan ako? Womanis. So, can you please set up already?
Nandiyan si Kat Paddy. Yung si Kat Paddy.
So, are we good? Yes. Jay?
Okay na po.
Sandali, sa meeting. Sorry. Okay. So now, we move to Team Humanes. They will address solution set number 3. So it's about yung simulated models or scenarios for floods and landslides. Okay? So now I turn you over to Team Manes.
So we chose solution number 3, which solves the problem of LGUs failing to effectively make quick and smart decisions based because of lack of concise data. Basically, yung app monitors rainfall and slope displacement. This means that it can give info if landslides or floods are imminent. And the app's design is very simple and direct to the point, so LGU people can understand information at a glance.
So to further discuss, let me give you a bit of a background. I worked on a box project last year, and it was about slope measurements, or rather, the geo people of city wanted to analyze the measurements they were getting from slope detection tools they had, but they only had raw data, and they wanted to display those data in meaningful ways. So what they made me do is to make graphs that were actually more meaningful, only meaningful to them, to the scientists, to the geology people. So it wouldn't make sense to show those graphs to LGU people, those that would need education to or further training to deduce better opinions about what those values mean. So what we aim to do is to provide a dashboard or something that LGU people could look at, and so that they can make quick decisions regarding the situation of their location. For example, we meant this to be location specific. For example, in Laguna there would be more, what do you call this, stations that would measure these readings. So they would appear as more dots, and you can click through those dots. But since we lack time and to make sample data, we just opted for multiple regions. And so what shows here is accelerated demo. So you will see these are actually takes. The measurements don't come that real time. They usually come at longer intervals, like 30 minutes. But just to show that this is real time, see, a large reading came up, and it warns the people that there's a possible flooding that could occur. So in a bigger perspective, our plans is to create a platform that could allow coordination with the scientists and the LG people, so they can make more meaningful graphs. So the part about simplifying or creating the models to allow the LG people to interpret values from these readings is not in our hands. I mean, we're not scientists, we're just developers. So we created sample data to show this dashboard that we think we could help with bridging that gap. So for example, in our code, we made interfaces that could allow the scientists to create graphs that are simple enough for the LG people. So for example, there's the value box earlier. It's just a simple widget that they can use. So there. That's all.
Question.
Thank you.
Okay. The question is, can we do parang time analysis, like 2 hours from now? In this current version, I'm sure you can code that. Pero with this version na nagagawa mo in time, like 2 hours from now, on this slope, prediction, kasi parang 2 hours from now, you're expecting na
I guess you can
with this current rate.
Go Zoom. I guess you can, it could be
added naman.
added, yeah.
I thought meron kasi yung ang ginagawa mong alert is the current level.
Current level, yeah.
As of like 30 minutes ago, assuming that the data is coming regularly 30 minutes. So you're assuming that the data points are may nag-enter or how are you or hindi mo alam naman?
Well,
as long as they're getting data some sort of sensor and then you're collecting it.
In our data process, since I experienced or at least I saw what data they were getting. So they were really raw data, missing data, and they have to process it. And that's why you have actually those bigger intervals, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, or hours. Because you lack data, you can make those intervals into 5 minutes, the actual readings, but you won't be sure that they would come. So that's actually just wishful thinking that you can get 30 minutes data intervals. But the plan is the data would be normalized when it gets here. Yeah, and picks up.
Yeah. Thanks.
Questions?
Excited? Questions? Sino si Fat Fan? So, siya yung fat. Di pa fan nila. Ano daw?
Idol.
Ayun, sorry. Ayan. So, any other question? Ay, sir.
Sa Laguna kasi nag-set up kami ng mga early warning devices. Tapos ang layunin namin is to be able to do exactly what we were trying to do. So, ibig sabihin, to generate this data and then the LGU should be able to get a sense out of the data that they're generating. But at the same time, when we generate the data, one recipient of the data would be the NOAA system. So is this system compatible with that plan?
It's more of a receiver rather than some distribution. I mean, we in NOAA is for, I guess, more analysis, or I'm not really sure what the goals of NOAA is, but our goal.
The question is, pwede ba kayo kumuha ng data rin kayo?
I thought it was to relate data to NOAA.
To relay also.
To relay also. Okay.
Well, I guess if they want to.
Ibig sabihin, the system can be twisted.
Well,
it's more of an option of us. I mean, if you want to. So yes, I will give them to NOAA.
Okay. So thank you. So now, coming. So you can set off while the judges are discussing the app presented.
Oo nga eh.
Wala na kasi.
Kaya maganda itong system. But at the same time, maganda rin kasi na yung data may national kaya
Speakers ko. Tawa kayong tawa dyan ha. Nagdi-deliberate kasi yung judge hindi na minus. Mabilis ba yung transition ng pag-ikot ng camera? Hindi naman nanonood. Hi.
Judges ready? Yeah. Sige, submitting. Sige. Let's give them a few more seconds.
Technical, wait. Sanay lang po. Sub nyo ako. Yeah, sanay lang. Thank you.
Let's wait for everyone sleepy? Tired na? Sino hindi natulog kagabi? Ako nag-focus si ma'am. Sino yung 2 hours of sleep meron? 2 hours. 1 hour. 5 minutes. Ayan, mga ano. Well fed, well fed.
Ay, meron po sa dami. Yung pangalan mo, meron po URL mo.
Sino puso? Di ba may pizza na dumating kagabi? Wala na akong naabutan. Okay na. Ang bilis? Ang wala kinuha?
But the app will be accessible by Facebook. And this was this
Team name is Titig Lawin.
Open yung video.
Ayun. Addressing solution set number 4. Okay, solution set number 4. So for protection of watershed, deforestation, and development of families to the protected area. So I'll turn it over to Titig Lawin.
Good afternoon. Habang nagre-reboot yung laptop, nagkaroon ng problema. May kwento na ako. Nagsimula ako sa pangalang Matang Ibon. Kasi nung tinitingnan ko yung ano kagabi, sabi ko, maganda yung bird's eye view. So naisip ko, Matang Ibon, sino ka pala macho. So Matang Lawin. Pagdating sa Facebook, yung Matang Lawin, ang daming Matang Lawin. So ginawa ko na lang, Titig Lawin. So, pwede nyo makita yung www.facebook.com/ para naman sa ating bisitang mga Amerikano, ginawa kong stare 360. Okay, pero ang pangalan ng Facebook, Titig Lawin. So, ang theme ng ating, yung category number 4 is environment and disaster. Disaster in general, and then number 4 focuses on environment. So what I did is, sabi ko, everybody's gathering data, I'd rather gather images. So para bantayan natin kung merong mga illegal loggers, tingnan natin araw-araw, paano natin titingnan? Merong mga bagay na hindi natin makita ng harapan, kailangan bird's eye view talaga. So galing ako ng Negros, matagal ako sa Negros, merong tanim ng tubo, sugarcane. Hindi nyo alam, ninanakaw na pala yung tanim sa loob. So pag pinasok nyo, sa araw ng harvest, kalbo na siya dun sa loob. So merong mga bagay na kailangan nating makita mula sa taas. So kung nabubuksan nyo yung Facebook page ng Titig Lawin, ang profile pic, ni-research ko kagabi, ginugol ko kagabi, iyan na po ang pinaka-stable, pinaka-athletic na remote control laruan. Ang tawag ho dyan ay quadcopter. Kagabi ko lang nalaman, quad kasi 4 ang propeller niya that makes it very athletic and very stable. Doon po sa gitna niya, nandun yung camera. So pinili ko rin, kung meron tayong isa-survey na lugar, paano natin malalaman na yun parati ang tinitingnan natin? So meron palang camera ngayon na mabibili natin in commercial, from commercial stores, retail outlets, meron na palang camera na may GPS, weatherproof, waterproof. So combining that technology, I'm sorry, what I am showing you is not an app on a cell phone, neither is it a website. I don't have time to write a website, so I converge all my ideas, all my photographs, all my notes on that Facebook page. So you will see now that camera with a weather mounted on a quadcopter. I only learned that word last night. Okay, so I have images to show you. Do I still have time to do this? Are the images showing on screen? Okay. 1 minute. So, Typhoon Yolanda, there was no way to distribute the goods except by a helicopter because there was no other route. They did not know. The roads were blocked. So, in a disaster, we better have that quadcopter. We can survey alternative routes to reach the remote areas. This plane to wide the distribution. In the Philippines, a disaster, there are barrios that are small. If you have a plane like this to distribute the goods, there will be widespread, you know. Parang carpet bombing, you don't hit the target. Okay, so helicopter, because of that, gives me an idea of this quadcopter. Ito, in the middle of a plantation, you have illegal logging. You won't know until you see it from above, until you have the bird's eye view. So here is a closer view. Quadcopter with a camera right in the middle. You can use this even without a disaster. You can survey plantations of your constituents. In the LGU, you have farmers. And you might want to detect infestation or irrigation problem. Time. O coconut kinalbo ng Typhoon Pablo. I took the pictures myself. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so questions? 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 Sir?
Sir, so you're suggesting that each LGU should have this quadcopter
so.
to be able to do this mapping, right?
I think so. You can even see potential flood. Drainage is not a problem. It's the garbage blocking the drainage. Usually they're designed very well, but they're blocked by garbage. How do you see them?
Yeah,
You look at them from above.
Yeah, but in terms of the sustainability of the project, how much is this project going to cost each LGU?
According to some, a few 100,000. I know the 30,000 award is not enough, but a few 100,000. But it cannot carry a payload. It can only carry a camera. Maybe a larger version can carry relief goods to remote areas. Yes. Any more questions? It has to be solar powered because in a disaster you don't have the electricity to recharge the battery, so you need the solar backup.
Having done research on the legislative implications of quadcopters, about the limitations on what to fly above a certain height and so on.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know if that is included in this project.
Other questions? None? Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll give the judges the time. I'll call on PTH. Where are you? Okay. So help them set up. Then AQS, where are you? Ayun, so can you go there already? Para blood flowing, hindi na kanya kaupo. Judges, are we good? So now, this is Team PTH. So check your judging form, select Team PTH. Solution set number 2. Yes, sorry. Solution set number 2. And I believe sila yung unang mag-represent for solution set number 2. So, solution set.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay. Sabi sa board. So yeah, solution set number 2 is about apps that will simulate and track the carrying capacity of the overall drainage infrastructure, including the lakes and river systems, to prevent flooding that disrupts operations of the businesses and delivery of key public services in the LGUs. Okay? So now I turn you over to Team PPH. Ay, pa-on ko. Isa pa. Up pa.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I will keep this short kasi alam ko it's a very dragging afternoon. PPH pala, hindi siya parent teachers. It's called Pine Tree Hill. Kasi ako, galing ako sa Baguio. Ang kaibigan ko si Francis, taga Pangasinan naman. So, sana minix namin yung Bahat landslide. Pero ang approach, our solution, visual solution namin in an architecture muna, they will discuss subcomponent, which is the application that we created in the morning lang. Kasi gumimik pa yung kasama ko eh. Ayan. In a perspective lang, ang ginagawa namin para makita natin lahat na pagtutugma natin ng mga data natin. Sana may translation din from a cell site, BTS, may mga sensors na kami kinukuha via streams processing. Meron din kaming normal na smartphone transaction. Sana later on may machine-to-machine technology from analog radio, landline, may translation na tayo doon, may text analysis. Tapos yung sa amin, yung baka kasi, kailangan namin i-measure kung ano yung level ng tide, level ng sea, rainfall, katulad ng isang team, may river level na rin kasi galing Baguio yung ulan, yung pala babahayin na Pangasinan. So, kanya nangyari yun. And sewer level, kasi naman natin, hindi naman like United States na they have, may mga teenage mutant ninja turtles sa ilalim, tayo wala talaga eh. And others din. So we wanted to consolidate data via social media and consolidate into a data store na nandun yung citizens profile natin, yung density ng area, may locations data tayo from Google Crisis Map, from hazard maps ng urban regional planning and all others. May correlated data na tayo within all of the crunch data nito. And syempre may government data rin tayo na confidential or bumaba pa yung RAM nila. Vision namin, we wanted to expose these APIs para lahat ng developers, lahat ng mga nangailangan information accessible siya. May mga data services kami and meron din kami telco. Ang mga users naman namin dito, simple lang. Ma-notify ang 911, fire station, and all others. May endpoint silang ginagawa. Ang users din namin ng app is yung mga police din na nandun on site. So, I'll go to the quick technical demo bago ko lipat sa dashboard natin. So si police, gusto lang niya maglagay ng alerts at itignan yung alerts niya. For example, may alert siya na result na yung flood level. Rotate ko na lang. Sorry. Yun, rotate na. So minsan may hindi na incident siya which is given for evacuation routes. Tapos may ongoing travel ticket siya na kinukuha niya for this day. Katulad ng isang app na nakita natin kanina, we wanted to add incidents so pwede siyang kumuha doon based on sa geographic location. Alright? So, I'll pass the floor to my friend who has created the overall dashboard that shows all of the consolidated information in the portal.
Okay, 25 seconds to show the dashboard. Actually, yung dashboard natin, papakita lang namin kung ano yung magiging itsura niya sa mga end users. Kunyari, an example, last night kasi I called a friend and he wanted to know what are the credit status of his barangays. So, no. Sorry. It's okay. Actually, it's
Doon na lang siya. To the left. Yeah, papaano. What is your
Okay. So, sorry, it's going to take just 15 seconds lang. Actually, ito yung mga dashboard namin na makikita ng mga ano.
Okay, so ayun na yung dashboard. Sorry, to be fair to the other team. So, ayun na daw po yung dashboard. Ayan. Ayan, sa question yun na lang ibuhos. Yung questions? Wala. Sige, ayan. Thank you, Ellie.
So may data collection ka.
Yes, sir.
And then meron kang dashboard.
Yes, sir.
The dashboard is available online or application?
Yes, online.
Online.
Yes, sir.
So yung data collection mo, sino nagko-collect ng data?
So, sir, we will coordinate with government. Of course, there will be machine-to-machine, yung mga sensors natin, mga field sensors
So you're
natin.
thinking field sensor.
That's the visual
Actually,
aspect.
water level per...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then, ano yung makikita pa sa app?
So, sir, dalawang perspective yung pinakita namin kanina. Kung you wanted to disseminate police transportation within that area, it could be SMS, purely feature phone kasi wala pang smartphone. Or yung app namin na yung police might be, where they're already taking incidents on their...
Okay. Alright.
So sir, dito sa map namin, we wanted to also overlay yung crisis disaster map ng Google and all other hazard maps ng government sana. Consolidated.
Yep.
Yep. Sige po. Thank you po sir for the questions. Sir, ma'am, we could have different technology that could be a C++ or a low-level protocol handling of data. Pwede kasing real-time. Our vision is whether real-time, tapos in that sense, we can already do predictive analysis by applying other models. Stream processing na rin po siya. Kasi if we can do the normal data warehouse or business intelligence processing, that would take time. So we wanted, together with all of those data, we could already do correlation and prevent or forecast something. It will take field engineers, it will take as well government, LGUs, and all other local government muna tayo, ma'am. So, I hope this is the vision that we wanted to do. Kasi I went to Yolanda and there's really no communication. So, kung may machine-to-machine processing man tayo, like yung mga ginawa ng mga friends natin dito, that would be the idea. So,
Instead of combine online, offline.
yes, ma'am. Online and offline. So we wanted also to tap with Meralco and, and all co-op para at least data grid, tapos you can already stop the electricity and with the water lines. Alright, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Team PTH. Na hindi pala parent-teacher housing. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, so now, Team AQS is setting up while the judges are doing their judging. Okay. AQS is the next team. Ready na po. Seryoso pa yung judges. AQS set number 5. So about structural integrity of key and critical infrastructures. So are the judges ready? Is everyone ready? Yes. So here goes Team AQS.
Okay, so without further ado, I will now tell you what is the main feature of our application. So the main feature of our application is to show the integrity of buildings before a typhoon comes. So if you can see, this is our application. So you can see this is our application, and our target cities are Iloilo City and Cagayan de Oro. So we focused on those two areas already. And once you click on Iloilo, it will list the barangays. So for now, we only listed 9, but it has many barangays. So, for example, I want the Santa Ana, Barangay Santa Ana. And then, it will list now the infrastructures, the complete list of infrastructures in that certain barangay. We have hospital, barangay hall, gymnasium, and we have lots more. But for the sake of this prototype, we just listed 9. Actually, it's just 4 and 2 worthies. And for example, I like public school, because public schools are common locations for evacuation centers. So once I click public school, okay, so you saw a short delay in the information because our system still analyzed the data, because we have a database. One of our databases is the collected information from each barangay. So in each barangay, we have different locations, right? Different infrastructures. So we need to collect data on those different infrastructures, such as when was it built. So for example, this school was built in 1998. How many years is it now? So it's there for 16 years already, so quite old. And then material quality. So we have a scale of 1 to 10. So 8 is quite durable. And then number of floors 6, and the maximum capacity, which is 1,000. So based on this data and also the data from Pag-asa and the Project NOAA, we will our system will analyze these raw data and will analyze these data to produce these analysis. So it's a really simple interface. So even anyone, LGUs who can even understand graphs and data can understand this easily, because andito na, malaki na yung nakasulat, status, it's unsafe, based on the data we have collected and the data from Pag-asa. So status is unsafe, and then flood. So is it safe from flood? This is actually based from the data of rainfall. So we are incorporating it with other data to predict. So these are assumptions, smart assumptions based on valid data. If it's safe from flood. So my point is, I want the LGUs to prepare for disaster. So even before the typhoon comes, makakapag-evacuate na sila, they can advance the relief goods. Kasi ang problema sa Pilipinas, tinadala relief goods pag tapos na. So I want to advance it. Okay? Kasi yun ang problema ng Hayan, yung logistics nila. Kasi pag broken yung roads and also nagre-reclam sila, ang daming problema. So I want to advance it na. And then, to show you the other features of our application, we actually have, how many minutes do you have? Count down. we have a story, like a storytelling, to prepare for earthquakes naman. So it's a simple to follow guide. So it tells you what to do during an earthquake. Ayan. And it's animated, so it's really simple to follow, like that. And after that, we also have a chat system. So Nikolai, can you show us the chat system? So the chat system naman is for effective communication. Kasi we have a login, we see there the login, and then that login interface is for barangay captain. So I want each barangay to have at least one representative, at least 1 or 2 representatives, and then those representatives can communicate with each other together with Pag-asa and other agencies. And then, ayan, so they can have live chat. So, if ever a typhoon comes, madidirect na agad sila. Madidirect na agad nila yung gusto nilang sabihin. And, okay, questions.
Ayun, papigil po sa kanya yung mic. And you can go up here. Calm down, it's okay.
Breathe. So who's your
yung per barangay yes, kami sa Matanod, they are the nearest authorities to their constituents.
So you're thinking of a barangay captain to use this app?
Kahit hindi captain, one particular representative who is knowledgeable in evacuation plans and stuff like that.
Okay.
I like this kasi nag-go down kayo to the barangay level.
Yes.
And I think dun sa problem set number 5, yung nearest dun sa na post na question. Ang tanong ko lang, with regards to, for example, the quality of the building, who's going to determine, for example, how do you determine if it's 8, 9, or 10?
For that, kasi for this one, for the sake of prototype, we use dummy data. Kasi we don't have the data yet. Kasi if we're going to pursue this project, of course, we need research on valid data. So we need people to gather the accurate data of each building to predict a valid assumption. Kasi we are assuming.
So basically the data is dummy data.
Yes, for this one.
You had the data, this would.
Yes.
So question lang is, medyo malabo lang sa akin, collapse, yes? So,
yeah, so actually we can also change naman the Okay.
Siguro additional info lang, kasi yung T-Box also generating data on the quality of the buildings. You might want to look at that.
Ayun.
Other questions?
Read.
Questions? How old are you, my dear?
How old do you think I am?
How old do you think she is? Yes, 18 daw from that end.
No.
23?
No.
Younger. Younger daw. Younger than 18.
19.
19. So she's still an undergrad student and she's so hyper. Full of energy, obviously. So thank you so much.
Thank you po.
Thank you. So much energy.
Nakailang kape ka?
Hindi mo huminom ng kape, Milo lang.
Sugar.
Palanan nyo.
Sugar. It's not coffee, it's sugar. Okay? So, I'll give the next group to prepare and then the judges to fill up their forms.
Vince, nakailang kape ka rin? Kaya pala naubos agad eh. Hindi mo lang nakakain. Ako'y nag-order. Ba yan? Less than 10 minutes daw eh. Nabus yung 6 na box. Natawa ko.
YOLO driven development.
So the next team is YDD. They were able to make 2 applications.
So what will be the first one?
So the first one will address the 5th solution set and the second one will address the first solution set. So dalawa application pero they will be presenting in the same amount of time yung 2 applications. So, sadali.
Mas mabilis siya doon sa group.
Dapat mas mabilis ka kanina.
Pero yung judging namin is per solution set. So, are we judging twice?
Twice.
Okay, so the project...
wait lang.
Na-affect nung energy kanina.
Sub.
Or ayaw bumukas?
Wait. Sub lang. Sub lang. Ano eh, maghahanap ng amo.
Yeah, so we're down to our last, ilan na lang? Last 2 after this, so, okay. Napasok na yung mga judges. Ayan. Ako, the projector. Go projector.
Sa akin lang yung sabitan. Ay, sebelah.
Sige. Okay na ako.
Thank you.
Wait. Ay,
Sarili
sure.
time ko na pag binigay ko na.
Ay, papakita ko sa'yo, Pia. Something pang icebreaker lang.
5. We'll start with app number... App na
Ay, alisin yung ano.
YPT.
Una.
YOLO driven development.
Pang icebreaker lang ako naman. Group members.
So again, we will start with solution set number 5. Do we give them time? One lang daw.
One lang?
One lang per team. Pero yung judging kasi worried ko.
Oo. Ang hirap mag-judge. Dalawang team.
So, council, you need to meet and decide right now.
Hindi sabihin 2 apps.
4. So,
Iyan naman na 2 sets.
2 sets. 2 sets.
So for the first one.
Wait lang. So again, YDT solution set number 5. So, Nix, here's your mic.
Yeah. Hi po, good afternoon. So, for the first one, what we did was some sort of secure crowdsourced secure structure integrity monitoring. So, let's start with a story. Let's say taga Iloilo ako. I'm from Iloilo and I'm walking. And then, I tried to use the application and it will give you a set of places, like the buildings set by the LGUs on that place. So, napadaan ako sa elementary school and then I see sirang bubong. So, the bubong was sira. And then I was like, oh my god, I need to report this because the kids are gonna get wet. So, I'll use the application and click that the building and then I'll add something like if I took a picture I'll add a comment sirang bubong yun and then let's say ang urgency niya is 5 like kung babagyo na talaga urgency na 5 and then I'll put an image like well, ang image na ilalagay ko is yung image ng sirang bubong, obviously. So, I'll submit it. So, sorry, medyo matagal yung pagsasubmit, but it will submit. Now, going to our web portal, what's happening right here is just, we're displaying all the places that has been indexed in our database, and people can look at it and like there's an urgency rating of course. If someone clicks this, yeah, he will see the comments like, oh, sorry for that, unresponsive. Like, yeah, all the pictures ng mga sirang bubong or like broken chairs or anything. So that's it. It's like it's a very simple app that uses crowdsourcing to determine which infrastructure in your community needs to be fixed. And once it's uploaded, it will reflect here, like if we go in this one, and then, yeah, that one. So, this one is the sirang bubong. So, yeah, that's our first application. It's as simple as that. Now, should I proceed to the next application or?
Yes. Yes daw.
So for the next application, we addressed issue number 1. So the question is, gusto mo bang magpatayo? Magpatayo ng building.
Okay.
Most of us want to, build stuff and everything. But the thing is, you don't even know what that place, is it hazardous or anything. So using the data that we gathered from nababaha.com, because it's the smallest set of data that we can put in our database. Like, if we search, our target place here is Laguna. So if we search, for example, Aite or because this is near Laguna today. So if you search that one, so as you can see, if you zoom out, it's based on the data from babaha.com. We also have data from NOAA, but we can put it because it's too slow. In rendering, like, there's this legend, greater than 50 meters, 1.5 meters, 0.5 to 1.5 meters. So, if you want to, for example, if you want to have your house right here, and then you examine, oh, maganda itong pagtayuan ng bahay. What you will do as a proof, yung bahay na yun, yung pwede pagtayuan is that use the marker feature, and then draw something like that, and we can print it in a legalized document saying, oh, mali yung drawing. Sorry. But the thing is, yeah, we can print it like saying, this document serves as a basis for building permit, blah, 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 construction of the building together with all the consequences defined, blah, 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 blah. So here are the remarks on the hazard. So for example, yung remarks na pwede natin sabihin dito is, madali siyang kain. And once we included other data, which we can, and it's there, but it's too large because the data from NOAA is available, but it's really large. So we can print this and bring this to the LGU to serve as proof of, hey, we can build something in here because there's less hazard. So we can save it or print it, and once we're done, yeah, we can do the same on other maps, and that's our second app. It's really simple, both apps. So, any questions?
Scoring na ako.
In the first presentation, device crowd sourcing.
Yep.
Why is there need for you to tag the urgency? Because what's urgent to you could not be urgent to me.
Well, for example, our point of, putting that urgency level is that there's a storm coming, and then that broken roof is really urgent. We need to fix it because the student would get wet. Or for example, there's an earthquake, and then you see these cracks on the walls, and it's an urgent fixing, and then government officials looking at the website will see that, we're gonna have an earthquake, the news says, and then there's a fracture in the wall, we should fix it. That's the basic concept.
Do you think your app is easy enough for your mom to use?
Well,
kasi that's the, imagine din nanay yung magtitake ng picture sa bubong ng bahay ko.
Yeah.
You think it's easy enough for your mom to use it?
Well, the experience, the interface right now is not that good because we have no graphic designer on our team. But the interface is just take a picture, post it, and then let other people's online see it.
So if you gave your app to your mom, she would be able to do it?
Yeah. I'm pretty confident about that. So yeah, because that's what we did with Relic Board. I'm part of the Relic Board team all that. So any other questions?
I think the caution down for the first app is that when you say urgency, just make sure later on when you build it that you validate first the urgent on the side of the one who's supposed to fix it.
Yeah, that's one of our recommendations in the future. We have several recommendations for the two applications, and it's one for the first application. Thank you. Yay!
Okay. Nagkukumpita kami ng point. So, sige. Next team. Nasaan si Project Hash? Are they still here? Nandito ba? Hash? Hash Brown? Ay, syempre hashtag ako Hash Brown. Priorities. Hash? Project Hash?
10 seconds.
May nakakakilala po ba sa Project Hash? Umuwi na po ba sila? Did they end up sleeping and going home already? Panawagan po kay Project Hash? Okay? 6, 5, 4, 3, sure Project Hash? Last? Okay. So, to our last team, Galar Shifters, where are you? Yeah, last one! So, okay. Oo nga pala, they're still judging, so you set up. Kasi dalawang app nga pala yung ginudge nila kanina, medyo effort. Mamaya na, nag-judge ko sila. I mean, pwede ka na po.
We're almost done! You can sleep after this! Ayan. So again, nakikita ko medyo may food pa, medyo konti na lang yung pagkain. So for those who still want to grab snacks, do your chance now. While we're waiting for the judges to judge the 2 applications kanina.
Sorry, excited.
Galore shifters. And solution set number 1. Galore shifters. So, where's the other mic? Oh, it's over. Okay, so Galore shifters is addressing solution set number 1. So about issuance of permits. So now I turn you over to them. Yay!
Okay, good afternoon. Ano ba yung natin mo tayo lahat?
There.
So yeah, simulan natin. So number 1, anong pinaka-importanting resource para sa isang person? So it's time, di ba? So kapag nawala na yung time, hindi na mababalik. So kapag gumawa ka ng building permit, it takes time. May mga processes pa. So ang ginawa namin, mabilis lang. So here's the map of Laguna. Yung nasa, and then you click kung saan mo gusto mag-build. Then, and afterwards, may form siya. You have to indicate residential, industrial, commercial, and then some, ano ba yung para sa building mo? Is it for food or housing? Ganun. And then, i-submit it. Bali, meron na siyang data sa loob. Yung data manggagaling sa LGUs. So, sabihin na flood prone to or may high cliff. And then, maglalabas siya ng result. And then, yes, permissible ka. Pwede ka magtayo doon. Imbis na maghihintay ka ng 30 days or ilang months, tapos ibibigay sa'yo, hindi pala pwede. That's, di ba? So, try naman natin yung bawal. So, halimbawa, gusto magtayo ng food factory or sari-sari store, ganun, or food chain. Tapos, meron doon waste disposal na sa malapit. Siyempre, bawal yun kasi risky. Ang i-prevent natin yung hazards, di ba? So, no. Hindi ka maghihintay ng ilang days, ilang weeks para lang malaman mo na no pala. So, in 3 steps, meron ka na agad. Sa data,
so, yung LGUs, nasa interface, mag-enter sila ng questions. Kasi questions na yun, meron siyang matching anti-tags. Tapos, bawat, so, mananigate yung, yung land. So, we degrade, yung land, so i-grade nila yung so request ako ngayon, tapos wala pa siyang data. Yung LGU, ma-inform sila na this part of land needs to be assessed. And then, once they have it assessed, so i-data nila yung potential, yung level ng, yung frequency ng earthquakes, tsunami, flooding, landslides and stuff, tapos magkakaroon siya ng tags. Tapos ngayon, yung questions, so yung LGU can form the questions para tapos meron siyang anti-tag. Pag nag-match yun, sinabi ko yes, tapos nag-match dun sa land yung assessment nila, sasabihin niya automatically no for a specific reason, which is for example, yung earthquake,
relocation is near a fault line, something like that. So, simplify namin, parang caching sa ano. So, you don't have to assess yung ano, yung same piece ng land every time. So, yung ano yung...
Kapag empty pa siya, pwede siya lagyan ng data. Yes. Kapag empty siya, i-access siya sa, sa backend.
So instead like ina-access siya every time, only once na lang, so mag-steal siya over time, sabi natin after 6 months, so they'll have to reassess it again. Pero at least it saves time, I think a lot.
Then kung configurable yung planning, and then kapag no data, syempre no data sa simula, hindi mo pa na-explore yung area mo. Then nag-enter ka, yung user, and then syempre mag-send na request through email. Kasi hindi pa wala pa naman siyang data, hindi mo sabi ko no. So, after nun, i-record sa database yung data
yung power bank.
i-research nung LGU. And then, kapag may panibagong user na nag-request sa particular area, na ni-requestan dati, syempre may data na siya. So yun, same time.
That's it. Ayun mo.
So, yeah. Questions? To our last team? Questions?
Sabi yung yes or no is not yet approval, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Just determining the feasibility na.
Pati na the red tape. Yeah.
Pero ang ano ko lang, ang concern ko lang, that still will not, the app will still not ensure that nakati on the red tape. Like for example, if the local government still does not show the red tape. So parang feasibility ano pa lang siya, di ba? Ibig sabihin meron ka, alam mo na yes, pwede ka magtayo. Kung no, hindi ka magtayo. What if yung sabi nyo nga, wala pa silang assessment doon. So I think ang problem natin doon is, if it takes, for example, the local government to do the assessment in 3 months. So how will the system address that?
If that's the case, ganun din naman yung mangyayari sa usual assessment, diba? It will be the same, only that it will only happen once. Instead of every time na may nag-request ng assessment, with the same piece of land, 3 months, yung paulit-ulit. Unlike this, parang once na lang. So it's a form of caching din.
Una lang po siya medyo mahirap kasi medyo wala pa po naman.
So initially, pag send a request, wala pang data, ma-inform si LGU. The next time the same piece of land will be asked for assessment, hindi na, I will use yung nasa database na since it's stored. So, yun.
Saka, sir, may credibility na rin yun. Kasi, may data ka. Kesa naman under the table na, pwede ka magtayo dito. Yung pala, merong hazard. Merong hazard. So, may data ka.
Other questions? So, thank you. Thank you. The worshipper. So, let's give them a round of applause. Let's see!
Thank you.
Wala nang battery.
Judges, please go with me on program. So, this event is sponsored by narinig ko? Tama ka? Yeah, so, it's organized by, with the help of USA, the US Embassy. Sino pa nandun? World Food Program. Of course, Globe Lab, that's why we're here. And the Google Developers Group, did I miss anyone? We're good. So, yeah. So sino mag-demo muna? So, everyone will get this. So, someone demo it. Asan na yung mga volunteers natin doon?
Okay, tignan. Hindi ako marunong gumamit ng AI. Okay.
Sino pwede mag-demo?
ako doon nagbibideo. Ayan si Wayne. Oh, Wayne, ikot ah. Ayan. So yeah, parachute for everyone to be safe. So then, it goes with the exciting bag. Pogi pack. So yan. Short pag nag-travel ka, lalagyan ng maruming damit. Ako lang. Ayan. So, we'll do this by team and then Go Vlogs team, can you take a picture of each team na nandito? So, fill up the time habang nagko-commit sila. Okay, so first
Marunong
team,
ka
let's give
mag-rotate
a round
ng
of applause
video.
for DevOps team.
Gusto mo i-rotate
Very
yung screen?
screen.
Kasi yung sa iPhone mag-rotate ng screen.
Color, red or yellow?
Yan. Tapos,
Ay, lahat pala, meron pa
thank you.
sila. Oh, dahil una team ka nag-present, what color? Red daw. Mag-isa lang siya. Oy, kunyari, kayo yung sunod sa sagang.
Para may friends, kunwari pa.
Rita and Jamie join us in front, so you could take photos with each of the group. Is that fine? Is Miss Nancy still here? Well, come on. So, yan. Pictures with the team who present team members. Team. Kasi kaya isa lang. Sino? Mamaya nagpapa-picture, walang nagkukuha ng picture, ha? So, ayan. Someone. Oh, now. Ay, wag ka sa gitna. So, yan.
Sorry.
Yes! Okay, next team. Excuse me. Idea 92. Let's go, Idea 92. Let's give them a round of applause. Actually, for everyone, we're finishing this event. We're almost there. Oh, it's okay. Andito na siya. Ito na siya. So, color. Ay, color. Green, yellow, or blue, or red pala. May or pa. Blue, green. So, can I call on the next team din para nandito na sa gilid? Ikaw lang. Sapat na. Dito po sa kabilang side na. Parang graduation. Dito yung entrance. So, yun. Sorry, nakaharap mo pa ako. Yeah. So, gusto ko yung may usual pose nyo, ah. Yes. You have to teach them. So, yan. Ikaw lang sa pagdating. Ayan. Ayan, I thank you in robotics for being here already. Ang color daw. Red, blue, yellow daw. Sila Phil Robotics team. Bumbanes. Pila na rin to. Graduate. So si Erika, background music. Matrition music. Ayan, so, post po muna. Then, Bumbanes.
Teka. Wala kayong post?
Yeah, thank you, Phil Robotics team. Thank you. Sige, go. Ayan, then, Bumbanes, go. Take your photo with them. Mali yung blocking natin, entrance and exit, wait. Sige. Okay, sige, Bumbanes, let's go. Nainip na yung ating mga models. Post with them. Okay, next team. DE. Team DE. Ayan. Where's the other dude? The other dude. t-shirt yun, yung pala may sticker lang. Sabi ko, may ganong t-shirt ba kami? Next team, Igo. Let's go, ayan, choose your color. Ayan, miss. Ayan, isa. Okay. Then, ito na naman ako. Cisco. Cisco. Come on down. Cisco, let's go. Thank you. Next, Cisco, choose your color before you go up. Then, fans of Cat Paddy. Let's go. Dito po muna sa right side. Kaya niyo yan. So, when you've received your bag, please go off the stage and smile. Fans of Cat Paddy. Then, Helios. Helios, ayan. Pila lang po muna tayo.
Thank you.
Smart. Oh, sige, let's go. Go. Aba, coming from both sides, ha? Smart. Now, ayan, I posted them. Then, yun, Helios, ready? Manes. Dito sa anong color? Google colors. Then, Manes. Sir, si Tiglawin. Then, PTH. PTH. Asa na sila, sir? PTH. Umuwi na ba sila? PTH, yung pine trees. So, ano yung H? PTH, okay. Nag-break nap. AQS. Then, YDB, get ready. Yan. The most hyper team. YDB, ayan, colors, YDB. Then, Project Happy is not here. Color shifters, our last team. So, pila na po. Yan.
Ready, one,
Smile. Smile. Okay, go. Last team. Kami yun, team ABC.
ready,
Smile.
one,
Maraming photographers. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you, Rita, Jamie, and Glenn for posting. So now, please settle down. Okay? Let's settle down. Okay, mukhang intense ang nangyayari sa loob ng room. They're having an intense discussion. Oh, 5 minutes now. Okay. Okay. Sino yung nauna dito kahapon? Who's the early bird? Kahapon. Beanbag! What's the price? Okay. T-shirt. Okay, wait. Hindi namin mahanap yung list. Wait, we're still looking for the list. So, for the early bird, we'll get the t-shirt Jomar is wearing. Model it in front of it. Ayaw mo? Ayaw niya. Okay. So, dark t-shirt. Hyper, walang tulog. So, while we're waiting, again, thank you. Dali, ayan. Okay. Ayan, announce muna natin. Ay, naubusan na ng battery yung phone na may hawak ng winner. Okay. Oh my, ay sorry. So cute. You have an Androidify ID. Bag tags pala, hindi pala siya ID. So yung bag tags. So, RFID. Nag-level up na bigla doon. NFC. Yan. So while we're waiting, so GTG Philippines would like to invite everyone. We're having our next event next Saturday and the following Saturday after that. In the same very room, we're going to have Google Cloud Platform Days. Kasi dalawang Saturday siya kaya days. On the first Saturday, we're gonna discuss App Engine. And then on the second Saturday, we're going to discuss Compute Engine. Tama? Okay, so yeah. So we're gonna have code labs. So hands-on session on how to use both cloud technologies. Okay, so we hope to see you there. And then, nasa na yung winners? Sa suspense, ayaw magbukas ng phone. Ay, oh. Dali. So, for now, yan, lumabas na si Mitch. Tingnan niyo siya lahat. Okay? So again, thank you for being part of this hackathon. You did something good. Yeah, so you should feel good kahit walang tulog. Okay? So thank you for spending your time with us. Sana po nabusog kayo. Nabusog pa? Free po. Okay? So, ang intense talaga ng discussion nila. Ay, evidence? Okay. Ooh, impromptu skills. Let's do this. Oh, games now, games. May energy pa for games? Mama Shell, did we count the beanbags before we started? Mamaya pag-alis natin, wala nang matira. Ay, pakibantayan po yung beanbags, GTG leads. Okay. So we had a lot of applications today, 16 to be exact, addressing all the 5 solutions. So it was something we're worried about if all 5 solutions will be addressed. And thankfully, at least 2 applications were addressing the 5 solutions. So give yourself a round of applause for taking Okay. Again, whenever someone goes out of the room, look at that person. Okay, so while we're waiting, it's still waiting. So everyone, where should we have the dito? Syempre. Let's have a group photo with everyone. Yung mga laptops po, mga mahulog, please be careful with the machines. And sige, group photo daw muna. Because the winners are not yet available.
Yung isang bintag nandito pa.
We know where to find you. So yun, let's go. We're trying to impromptu here and spend time. Okay. Photo! Selfie as you might suppose. Let's go, guys. Let's have a group photo.
Ang cellphone.
Sige, I'm not alone. Let's go, group photo.
Kaya namin si ate para sa group hug.
Sorry.
So everyone, ay sorry. Ayan, ihaharap ko sa atin para window seat.
Tanggalin mo. Hindi, mamayo. Okay lang pumunta. Schedule na lang natin table.
Ako yung natanggalan ko. Photo, let's go! I know you're all tired. Sige na, let's finish this. Let's go, everyone. Join for the group photo. All the teams. Oh my, the beanbags are our community leads. Let's go. Ele, I'm also about this. Kuya, do you need to go. Raymond, let's go. Group photo, bench. Josan, Ann, Alvin, let's go. Tara. Group photo. Bilis. Kasha yan. Kasha yan. Compress. Move backward now. Move backward. Move backward. Move backward. Yes, leaders. Are you sure? Ayan, group picture. Tapos, yung first photo formal, yung second gusto ko yung iwan. Para sa emo team. Ay, hindi pala emo. Ano? Romantic team.
Pwede bang gano'n?
Oh, go, Erica! Ay, Jake.
Okay, nagkakayaan pa. Nagkakayaan pa.
Nasa camera. Where's the next camera?
More. Saan mo ba?
Let's everyone will say Teka! Para nakabuka ako eh.
Alright.
1, 2, 3, Teka!
Oh my God.
Thank you! Nasa na kayo ang winner?
Kailangan natin.
Okay, take two, okay? Take two. So, okay, this is again on behalf of the organizers, US Department of State, the US Embassy in Manila, USA, the UN World Food Program, Global Salon, GDG Philippines, and Open Data Initiative. We would like to thank everyone who have participated for this hackathon. This is the first ever physical lab. So give yourself a big warm round of applause. You're making history. All right. So going back to the question. So what does the winner get? So we're gonna the judges were able to select three teams who have excelled given the criteria of relevance, innovativeness, completeness, sustainability, and visuals and presentation. So they will get a grant from courtesy of USA, a worth of 3,000, 30,000. Two hours of sleep. Okay, take two. So the grant from the USA will be given to the top three teams. They will get an amount of 30,000 pesos to help them modify, tweak some of their application, and this will be presented to the listed beneficiaries or the LGUs. So again, the guys who will win, you are helping the Philippines. Alright? You are helping the Philippines. And of course, you get a certificate of appreciation. Alright, so without further ado, I'm going to call Apitan, Jamie, and the judges to come in front. Come in front.
Wait lang, oh, while they're doing that. Yes, alam ko na yung first ever na dumating dito. So, names Wayne, Mr. or Miss Sabado and friends, yun yung nakasulat. Wala na. Wala? Sabado ngayon. Wala tayo, okay. Yung laki naman. Yung laki naman. Mr. or Miss Sergio? Last name lang. Wala rin? Wala! Makalistahan nyo na utang ni Mitch. Hindi na sa wait! Last, yung last. Tingnan natin. I-verify natin. Para si Dan? Wala, okay. Mali yung listahan. Okay, wala. Wala daw po. Anyway, let's go to the winners. Wait lang. What's happening? Okay, first na. Asa na nga? Ako. Good luck. Oh my. Okay, judges in front. Picture taking with the winners.
organization. Thank you to the volunteers. Thank you. Thank you so much. From the bottlenecks, the volunteers,
Hi guys, sorry
thank you.
the phone went off. But the winners were PD with their structural clothing design, and then we had um, Bumanes, and fan club ni us. Again, we apologize for the interruption in the live stream. Do find out more about the event at wiki.tech.global.org. Look for the Philippines in there. We will be posting the results of this hackathon. Thank you.